on the front seats, all getting right through.
Hello all. Welcome to Lyons Den. I'm Travis Lyons. This is going to be a weekly sports podcast where we talk about all the sports that pretty much I watch and all of America watches. So we're going to go through the NFL, the NBA, soccer, both Premier League and Champions League, NHL, college football, and college basketball. And usually I'll have a guest with me who knows a lot about one of the particular sports. And, we'd be talking mainly about that sport. But today it's just going to be me because it's our first one. So we're going to go through the weekly recap of all the sports. Starting off with the NFL. Now, this was a fun week. We had some good games. I was actually had the pleasure of going to the Eagles game in Dallas. So we're just going to go through the standings here. So in the NFC East, we got the Eagles, Commanders, Giants, and Cowboys. The West, we actually have the Cardinals leading with the 49ers, Rams, and the Seahawks. In the North, the Lions with their huge 16-point comeback win. The Vikings, the Packers, the Bears. In the South, we had the Falcons led by Kirk Cousins, the Bucks, Saints, and Panthers. And then moving to the AFC, the East, the Bills are leading with the Jets, Pats, and Dolphins trailing behind. In the West, we have the Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos, and Raiders. In the North, we actually have the Steelers leading after their win over Washington, the Ravens, Bengals, and Browns. And in the South, we have the Texans, Colts, Titans, and Jaguars. Some highlights of the weekend is the Bengals and Ravens, 35-34 game on Thursday Night Football. The Broncos got their 35-yard game-winning field goal blocked by the Chiefs, who moved to 9-0. The Steelers pulled out a late win thanks to Mike Williams' late touchdown, 28-27 in Washington. And the Eagles dominate the Cowboys 34-6, who were led by Cooper Rush, so some may call it a fraud win. Jamar Chase, 11 receptions, 264 yards, 3 touchdowns, 55 fantasy points. If you're going against him, I'm sorry. Eagles defense forced 5 turnovers, 4 first fumbles. Bijan Robinson, 144 yards, 2 touchdowns, and Chuba Hubbard had 169 yards and 1 touchdown. So I know that was a lot, but it was a fun weekend. Now in the NBA, we're going to go through the standings in the Eastern Conference. We got the Cavs, followed by the Celtics, Knicks, Hornets, Pacers, Pistons, Bulls, Magic, Nets, Heat, Hawks, Wizards, Bucks, Raptors, and of course my Philadelphia 76ers are in last. In the Western Conference, we got the Suns first, led by the Thunder, Warriors, Timberwolves, Nuggets, Grizzlies, Clippers, Rockets, Lakers, Mavs, Kings, Spurs, Blazers, Pelicans, and the Jazz are last. Highlights of the weekend. The Cavs are perfect right now in their 14-point comeback versus the Nets on Saturday. I don't know who could stop them right now. The Sixers, we scrape out a nasty overtime win yesterday led by Jared McCain's 27 points, but we're 2-7. We're shorthanded without Maxey, so we need to string some wins together. The Suns scrape out a 1-point win in Dallas on Friday. What a game that was. And performance of the weekend, we're going to go Zacchaire Risacher. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that right. It's the number 1 overall pick. He dropped 33 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocks in the win versus the Knicks. It was a good weekend of basketball. We're still waiting for it to ramp up. A lot of injuries happening, but yeah. Okay, let's get into the Premier League. And I'm a Liverpool fan. What a weekend this was for me. So, Man City bottled a 1-0 lead late in a 2-1 loss versus Brighton. Brighton, 2 goals in 5 minutes. What a game that was. Liverpool capitalized off this and won 2-0 versus Villa to go 5 points clear at the top. Tottenham shocked at home with a 1-2 loss against Ipswich. What a massive win that is for Ipswich, first win of the Premier League. Forest come back down to earth with a 3-1 loss versus Newcastle. I mean, they were flying, so they had to come back down to earth. Top 6, we got Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, Arsenal, Forest, and Brighton. And the bottom 4 for the relegation scrap is Ipswich, Palace, Wolves, and Southampton in last. Champions League, Sporting beat Man City 4-1, Ruben Amorim's final game. Yeah, that was a shocker. Liverpool crushed Leverkusen 4-0 in Xabi Alonso's return. Luis Diaz, hat-trick, shout-out. Madrid lose 3-1 against Milan at the Bernabeu. What a shocker that was. Aston Villa, first points of the UCL campaign. Arsenal, lost versus Inter. And Barca stay hot in the Champions League. Top 8 there, we got Liverpool, Sporting, Monaco, Brest, Inter, Barcelona, Dortmund, and Aston Villa. Now, the NHL, we'll go through the standings real quick. In the Atlantic, we got The Panthers at first, followed by the Leafs, Bruins, Lightning, Sabres, Senators, Red Wings, and the Canadiens. And in the Metro, we got the Devils, Canes, Caps, Rangers, Islanders, Penguins, Blue Jackets, and of course, the Philadelphia Flyers are last. Western Conference, we got the Jets, Wild, Stars, Utah, Avalanche, Blues, Predators, and Blackhawks. That's for the Central Division. And for the Pacific Division, we have the Kings, Knights, Canucks, Flames, Oilers, Kraken, Ducks, and the Sharks are last. Highlights of the weekend: Jets are 14-1, subject to change, but 14-1 is a big record. And Matvei Michkov benched for the second straight game as the Flyers drop another game in Florida. College football. It was a good weekend. It was a fun weekend. I had the pleasure of watching the Ole Miss Georgia game. It was a fun game, A lot of upsets. But our top 12 teams, before the rankings come out, I think they usually come out Tuesday, but before the rankings come out, we have Oregon, Ohio State, Georgia at 3, who lost, Miami at 4, who lost, Texas at 5, Penn State 6, 7's Tennessee, 8 is Indiana, 9-0, crazy. 9 is BYU, 10 is Notre Dame, 11 is Alabama, and 12 is Boise State. Miami lose first game of the season to Georgia Tech, 28-23. Alabama crush LSU in Louisiana, 42-13. Like I said, Ole Miss upsets Georgia, and they take their field goal post down out of the stadium. And Indiana, again, stays undefeated with the win over Michigan. College basketball. I mean, we're still getting started, We're ramping up. We're kind of doing these tournament games. We got a lot of ranked matchups going on, so it's pretty fun right now. But our top 10 teams as it stands are Kansas number 1, Alabama 2, shocker, UConn 3, they're staying hot, Houston 4, who actually lost to Auburn this week, Iowa State 5, Gonzaga 6, Cooper Flag-led Duke at 7, an exciting team, Baylor 8, UNC at 9, who did end up losing to Kansas 92-89 in a thriller of a game, Hunter Dickinson with the game-winning bucket there, and Arizona at 10. And a standout performance I want to highlight, Ryan Kalkbrenner of Creighton dropped 49 points, 11 rebounds, but the best part, he shot 20 for 22 from the field. That is absurd. I've never seen a stat line like that. I mean, that's my 2K player can't even do that good. That is an absurd stat line. So today's episode, we kind of just rushed through these sports. Usually we're going to have a guest on, and we're going to be talking about a particular sport. But I hope you guys just enjoy this intro episode, and I hope you stick with me and watch these episodes that we film every Monday and hopefully publish by Tuesday. So thank you. I appreciate it, and I'll see you all next week.